show that they're poyel al b'nei abayis. Maybe it just means that al pi nigla, the way they're poyel is that they bring them and they feed them. Al pi chassidus is more than just, yeah. It's in Lashon Chazal, the way it's in nigla, the mother's effect is more niglatic things. She's bringing the carpool to the child and preparing the food, waiting for the husband, enabling him to learn. But al pi chassidus, it has also a pool of pnimis. Just going to finish reading Sif Aleph inside, and then we'll go to the next thing. This it's a sikha that was printed. You know, the Chopei Shvat, the Rebbe gave out a pink booklet, Kavitz Chopei Shvat. And there, that's sikha of the Frierdiker Rebbe and of the Rebbe about Sheva Bnei Yisrael. So there is this sikha that the Rebbe is quoting. But Matan Torah, K'mesh Kosu Kesem Elo Beis Yaakov Yelo Noshim Achagav Sagad Bnei Yisrael Hanish. V'nid V'samishkim Basim Shal V'seicham Havayu Hanishim Al Hanashim Shehein Hayu Sham V'Yishanim Hanashim Litpul Lahen. So Basi Legani Chaysi Kala. Which we're saying that's Ikar Shechina with the Tainim Haisa, is Matan Torah by Bnei Mishkan, was first to the Sheva Bnei Yisrael. Matan Torah, and also by building of the Mishkan. Neisvel, Ktima Bisman, Kam Vikrik, Ktima Techim, and Maida Matan Torah, Shahanoshim, Lerotz Litin, Lein Not Nuzav, and Lysis Egel, Shitapachit Egel, Shehuv, Eved Matan Torah. Bnei Mishkan, Kmeshkaz Hanoshim, Tavu Asizim, Hisa, Umnes Yisera, Shmag Abizim, Tavu Nois. Oid, Ato, Who Ikar Shechusin Mechedus like Yula. Which is the reason which is the Indian that the Frierdiker Rebbe is madish of why he's being mashpia in Sheva Bnei Yisrael. Amar Chazal was Chanash Gali Sarjei was there Negal Yisrael Mitzrayim. And there's when we get the Gula Sid Lava Ilan Namar Kavitz Yisrael and the Fleish Shatia B'Schar Nashim Tzkanish B'Yisrael. When result in there's Negal Nashim Tzkanish Yesh B'Der. Why was it then the Nashim Tzkanish? So there's a few things. There was the Emunah that they had extra Emunah. And it says that it was by Yamin Ha'am, the men were like giving up and were just so under the influence of the work that they didn't believe. They said, you have to believe in my shit, you have to believe. There's also that it says B'schus of giving birth to Yiddish Kinolach, which also had to do with the women. Well, these things be a Mashiach. Prata pia mevor because Arisa Stargula city he would Gilgo Shader Shas Misam Pisa Nash the Ganesh with the Danish plus Nigalim Hinin Nash with Ganesh plus Nats time. Kibon Shadrenos the Rachan shall go so Risha shall Gula. He divre equate Mishal Manas the Danish, Karnishmo Konyan Abed Mukhan Kabos and Chit Kano. Stadel Quid Muhammad Nasi the Reno Lifa Lashpia Yeser al Hanoshim, the man desires to Sigula Shakusa must be Ganesh with the Reno. The real reason the Rebbe is investing directly so much Sheva Bnei Yisrael is because the Gula comes through them. Lahaisip. Shmalasan, that goes the third step. Malasan Sheni Som Negesh Levi Avasa Gula Gambik Gula Atmak Yidum over Pacific Kabal Vachsidis. Shelos love it is Galamans Series Amachos Kabal Isha Shosh Laman Kosis Mishveish Mishkos when came to Sevi Gaver Yeshus Chayat Teres Baila. It's not just in bringing the Gula, it's already living Mashiach. The Rebbe says we learned this in Chaysar Toshan Beis that in Lahavi Lamaisa Mashiach has two pirushim. Either it means do everything you can to bring about the days of Mashiach, or it means lahavi, like we learn in Nigla, lahavi, larabbi, like it's including you, to include lahavi ma'isa, include Yemaisa Mashiach, include Yemaisa Mashiach in your day-to-day life. That means something that you know that'll be when Mashiach comes. So start it already nowadays. So let's say you're learning Chassidus. So either lahavi ma'isa, the first pirush, for learning Chassidus, it's somehow bringing about Yemaisa Mashiach. So it says that through learning Chassidus, Mashiach comes. The main thing is everyone agrees when Mashiach comes, we'll be learning Chassidus. So I'm starting to live in Yemaisa Mashiach, and automatically also bring Yemaisa Mashiach. Do the story with the tzaddik with eating the apple. The tzaddik he made very create, so his father had to give him the apple. The strongest way of being played on the Eibishter, of him giving something to us, is we act as if it's already here. We're ready to be so b'simcha. What are you happy for? Because Mashiach is here, so I have to bring it. We're already starting the Simcha Segula. Now there's a lot of things I think I mentioned last time. 2 times ago, the Chav Tevis, looking into Tekanas Rambam, that it's not just that Tekanas Rambam is learning Rambam, learning halachis, through that Mashiach will come. More than that, it looks like Smasha from the Rebbe that when Mashiach comes, we'll pass him like the Rambam. So since when Mashiach comes, all the Yidden will become Rambam Yidden. So we have to start already now. This thing, and in a lot of Pa'ulas of the Rebbe, maybe in all, we see both of these shlavim, how that Indian is connected. A school to bring Mashiach. But in the case, this the Rebbe wants to see make the world already a Mashiach to the world. There's the Pula Nash. Okay, we'll skip to so the Rebbe says this connects to the Maimer of the Basiligani. Say Basiligani, say Shevas HaBeganim was given out for the yahrzeit of the Shumesi Knosoi, for the Bobbe, and then for the Mame, Nashim Tzidkanis, and the only Machaisi Kalo, it's Knesset Yisrael, the Mile of Nashim. And this already never mentioned in Boy, then Boy Pari, in the light, that's the Shabbos candles, that's Begilui by Nashim, the singing of that Lahoyer Sa'ilam. Also in Parshas Beshalach, we see the Mile of Nashim, that they had the Simcha Yisera. And very interesting. Why did they have the Simcha Yisera? The Dafke Miriam. How do we know that they had the Simcha Yisera? Because they prepared the tambourines. There wasn't any time. They couldn't even have food. They didn't have time to make food. Elamai, they had the tambourines before because they were certain that Mashiach would come and they would be so happy. Why Dafke the Nashim? Because Miriam Hashem Amirur, because they had the pain the most. That explains the Chelik Aleph of the Sichos in Horror 59, the Rebbe Shiksuti and the Sicha, that it's because the biggest gzera was Kolabena Yiloy Dayera Tashlachuhu. That a mother feels the biggest pain that the child is being killed. They felt the pain of the Golus the most, so they were anticipating the Gula the most. Therefore, when the Gula came, they felt the excitement and happiness of the Gula. You see, that's why Miriam was watching Moshe Rabbeinu. She was waiting, the Medusha, she's waiting to see when the Gula will come. So that's why, so the same thing nowadays, B'yachas the Gula, the women are more like sensitive to the pain of Golus, and also more sensitive to the happiness and belief and the anticipation for Bias HaMashiach. They were saying this behemshich to that the women made of Dvar Malchus, the Kabbalah's famous Shiur Tzidkenu, that the men didn't make it. Women made a kind of Shevanei Chabad, and here in New York, and then they made also in other countries. Clearly, that the women Shebederenu are having stronger emunah, simcha, and bitochin. This is that takeh which has to be begilui by them. Speaks here about the tznius. Yeah. Mela to take the hiserus of the Yom Heilul of Yud Shvat to continue with Mazari B'chaim, to continue the Indian that the Frierdiker Rebbe invested in the Pula Shevanei Chabad, especially Shnas Nun Beis, is Shiur b'miuchad im Gani, that we said before is the Indian of the Yidden Knesset Yisrael, is the Gani of the Eibishter. Why is Nun Beis Gan? Because Nun Beis in Makoilo is Nun Gimel, which this year is Shnas Hagan from Siva Sefer Torah Shel Mashiach Tzidkenu. Correct? Yeah. Which Rebbe says in the Maimer is that the same way Moshe Rabbeinu's whole hashpah and the Yidden came through the Torah, but that he has hashpah on them, so too Rebbe Moshe Rabbeinu and Mashiach Tzidkenu also has to have a Torah. All the hashpah, so Geula, he first writes it in Torah, then has hashpah afterwards on the Yidden, on Yisrael. They take this takeif of Torah, the Mashiach Dika Torah. Rebbe finishes the Maimer. Mishen Al-Tzadurch, Hodshen Yetz, the Sefer Torah. This like Ena Dover Tolu Elabonu, like I can live in a Mashiach Dika. Now it's already Gan Shonim, the Basi Legani, what the Sefer Torah of Mashiach has to have effect. Especially the Indian of Shira, that is Shabbos Shira and Shira's Dvaira and Shira's Miriam. That the women are definitely muftachos, and the Neifen of Shira, they're anticipating the Geula. For sure, there's the Regesh of Tzaru Merirus, at Masa, but there's also Gamu Beker, the Simcha, that Mitzad Gedel HaBitochen, Hinizah Melcham Mashiach Bo, Kvarbo. Either Kvarba means that we already have, as the Rebbe already said a few weeks ago, we already have Cheskes Mashiach, Va'ada Reza Mashiach Levadai. Or it could also be touched that in the anticipation, it's a similar, like when a person is Besimcha, how did it go in Rosh Chodesh by Simcha Steira? They said, the Rebbe soll sein gesund, the Rebbe wird sein gesund, and the Rebbe is gesund. What does that mean? The answer is the Simcha Peretz together, and Simcha is and when a person is in a matzav of Simcha, he's in a that punkt that is the matzav of Trachgut with Zaingut. So even without knowing the Rebbe's beer of Trachgut with Zaingut, that it depends on the whole beer, that's exactly the way B'tachin works. That's the teva dvarm of Simcha. It's where a person is in Yechidah Shabbat Neshama. It's where he's himself. He's not involved in things around him. In that place, it's when you're in the Simcha, so you move up from the level of Vet Zain Gesund. You start saying Zol Zain Gesund because Zol Zain Gesund, that's what's on your mind. Then you have Simcha, you say, let's say it's up to us. Let's be more courageous. It's Vet Zain Gesund. And then you understand that that the Eibishter wants to put me in a matzav as there is gesund. So someone's going to catch them in the middle of the song. Say, where is Shei gesund? So where is he? Where is he sitting? Where is he dancing? That's it's a simcha. Mitoich simcha is gesund, and the simcha that, in other words, I'm putting myself in a place. Remember, as a kid, they used to make us crazy. We said, "Am Yisrael, Am Nefesh Mashiach will be here." They said, "Were you saying this last year? The Lubavitchers are liars, right? Mashiach will be here this year." Lo chaser, the amount of tefillas where we say these things in this open of the siddur and sliches and the machzer of it will be kach v'kach, and it's understood that als Yidin, everyone on the it's now a tefillah of B'chal Mayid. I'm singing a song. It's behemshech of we want Mashiach now. That I'm asking by the Eibishter. Hemshech of asking is, I understand the way that it'll happen is I should put myself in this matziv of not only telling myself but announcing to Am Yisrael and showing the Eibishter that I'm certain Mashiach will be here this year. That's Geder. It's a hemshech of Geder HaTfilah. It's Geder HaBitochin. That's how a Yid is supposed to feel after Shemana Esrei. That he's sure the Eibishter is going to bring. That's why he says Baruch Atah Hashem. Not it's a Rachel Levatala. And B'chal, that's all you know Bitochin. So he's there. You could also say that this is a hemshech of. It's a din in the regesh. The regesh is simcha and oifen that he nezeh bo ukvarba. Again, it could also be that this is the first way I touch is could be it's the Metzias. It means tak. They're happy that not only he's coming, but that he already came. Like literally, you already have Melech HaMashiach, Cheskes Mashiach, the Schol of Mashiach. Rather, Kopanim, according to both ways, it's a lot of simcha and it's a lot of bitochin. But he needs a both. That this should bring. So after all the Lashon Nekeva, it ends with Lashon Zocher. Shiur Lavaya Shechadosh. At the end of the day, this says in Ranat. Even at the last Bible of Ranat, the Hemshech Ranat, even after the whole Inyan that we say that La'osalava, Ubinisgala, Mailas Malchus, so the last that's what the whole Ranat, the Hemshech Ranat is to say, Malchus, Dibur. But the Oiba say, why do you need Seder Shtalshos? End of the day, the whole way that this in this Gala is only through Ish. And even when Mashiach comes, the halacha that it says in Tassim Halacha Melech, V'loi Malka, Kol Yisraelis b'Yisrael are only allowed to be men. You can't have women running Srora. I mean, not only a king, not only a queen, even like positions, important positions. According to Torah, it has to be a man. It's going to be even when Mashiach comes. And the same thing, Liyos Kol Ish. Haman said that, but that's the Derech HaTorah. That it's the Ish, Takesh Elish. That even when Mashiach comes, it's going to be the Ish is the one that says being Mekadesh, and she has to accept it because the whole even when Mashiach comes, the sheirish of the Albinas Gala Malchus is only through Zoch. So Zochar always stays on the top. This is the Lasalave. The final Shira will be a Shira of Lashon Zochar. Now the explanation: what is the difference of Shir Lashon Nekeva and Shir Lashon Zochar? and what's going on over here. So there's other atheists that are from the same Fabringen, partially, but it's in a muge. It's printed in a separate sicha. The following sicha, the Rebbe speaks about the importance of Shabbos Shira, Yud Aleph Shvat, connected to Yud Aleph Nissen. First and foremost, just because there's not enough time, I'm going to skip to the Ha'ara. Most of you know what the Rebbe speaks about these days. Yud Aleph, where is it? Yeah, 137. 137. We have here in these days, Yud Yud Aleph Shvat. There's three mitzvahs that we have to do when Mashiach comes. Mini Melech, Lachas Arish Shalom Aleik, and Mini Beis HaMikdash. These are all these days. Yud Yud Aleph Shvat is Shini Ba'anasi, Mini Melech. We have a Rebbe Baruch Hashem. Shabbos, Parshas Beshalach, Gimel Shvat, Parshas Beshalach. Ends with Amalek. Is getting rid of Amalek. The Rebbe before in the Sikha speaks about Zecher. If we'll have time, we'll get back to it. Says Vav Shvat. That's the end of the Shleimus of Eretz Yisrael, building of the Beis HaMikdash. So we're in very special days with its Shleimus being on Monday, Chamisha Asar B'Shvat. And the Nekuda of the Sikha is the importance of the number Yud Aleph. We find in the Parsha that we left Mitzrayim, and Hashem could have taken us right away into Eretz Yisrael. So it's 11-day travel, but instead of doing the 11-day travel, Hashem took us 40 years in the Midbar. From Rashi, it turns out that this is a punishment. It's because even in those 11 days, we behaved Shalei Kedabai. But if you look in the Medrash, it looks like the Medrash is saying this as a positive thing. The Medrash is behemshich a lot of good things about the Yidden. One of the good things is that we did an 11-day trip in 40 years. Ask the Rebbe, what's the mile of 11-day trip in 40 years? It's just a schlep. It's just a waste of time. We lost 40 years of being in Eretz Yisrael. The Rebbe explains it Al-Pi Chsivis, that the 11 is another medrash also that says that this 11 Achad Asayim is being meramiz to Antuchad V'lei Lashon of the medrash Antuchad V'lei B'Chushban. It's going on. Different sefer. Achad Asar Miyuchad Sheba'asara. Medrash and Araf Shmais Rabba. Yeah. It's going on Anoichi Hashem Alekecha. Achadis Yom Mechayev is a very high level. Anoichi, Antuchad V'lei B'Chushban, which is the level of Mehusav Atzmusei Shalamayla Meyes Yisraelis. Hashem wants to give the Yidden this level of Yud Aleph to Kedusha. It could, if it wouldn't be within the 40 years, it would be just like a gift from above and wouldn't really be one thing with the Yidden below, wouldn't be united with us. That's why he gave us the gift that we should have 40 years of travel, of Avodah, of Birur in the Birur Ha'amim, Birur HaMidbar, and all the things we went through in the Midbar is Birurim and Zikuk. This way, the number 11, this high level of Atzmos, came to us in a optimistic way. So that's the good thing about it. That has to do with the fact we read also about Amalek in the district Parsha. Amalek was Zera Esav. There's a Chadis 11 chiefs in from tribes of Esav. So through the birur of the nitzaitis that are so low that fell all the way to Esav, that's like Midbar Amim. That's how we get the 11 the Kedusha. So the Rebbe says basically this is the union of Yud Aleph Shvat, the Chiddush of Yud Aleph Shvat, especially 40 years after Yud Aleph Shvat. Yud Shvat. The Rebbe is going to explain this more about Richos next week in the Chopei Shvat, the difference of Yud Aleph. But here it's already starting that like Yud Shvat is the number 10. If you don't have so much yet, the Gilu of Antuchad V'lei B'Chushban. Yud Aleph Shvat is when the Rebbe starts Yud Aleph Shvat in the year Tavshin Yud Aleph is mamish the Gilu of Shleimos of the Bechina of Yud Aleph. But now we're already celebrating over 40 years, for 42 years, Membez Masois, like Midbar Amin, which is this level of Antuchav Lebechushban coming into the Pratim, and B'meila, we have to recognize that we're already, after the 42 years, we're already at the end, we're already at the beginning of having this level of Antuchav Lebechushban in a real way, in a realistic way, because it already came through our Metzias. How is that Nisbate in the Indian of Shira? Like it's also Shabbos Shira. Shabbos Shira, so to finish off, this is what I was saying before, the difference of Shira Lashon Akeva, Shira Lashon Zachar. There's two ways of singing. There's one way of singing, which you're singing that you're like, you're yearning, you're reminiscent, you're gaguim, that you're mishtakik, you're lower, and you want to, called Bali Yashir, Yetsim Bashir, and Shachim Bashir. That it's like to go out of yourself. There's another type of shir, which is from Hiskalalus, coming in, being one, which has in it that I'm lower and he's higher, but it's already there. It's coming in. That's the difference of all the shiras of Zman Hazeh, which is Lashon Akeba, like a Makabel, and the shir La'asalavai is the Indian of Iskalus. This is Shabbos Shira is supposed to be like the top Indian of Shira is this type of Shira of Iskalus. That means when we're still during the 40 years, so we're still far from the number 11, so we're still mishtakik for the 11, it's still like that's high, we're low. So then we have to still sing Shira Lashon Akeva. But because we're already after 42 years of the 42 years of the Yud Aleph coming in, so we already could and should have a me'ain of the Shir Hashirim, the Song of Songs. It's a song of like Kedesh HaKadoshim, a level of Iskalus, Shir Lashon Zachar, which, and there says that Shabbos Shira gives a koyach of Shira the whole year. This is the mokra of Shira for the whole year, so it has to be in the highest level. It's in this oifen of Iskalus. And that's why the hara is to do things with simcha and to start. Besides that, we have to have the kshira kshura ima aliyah mamata lamayla, which is maybe like slower nagunim. However, you want to teach more Indian of gaguim. So achlius achshav lachri gmar kol aliyus hashira shemitzad adveikus va'iskalus rebellion. A certain song, which is a type of song of connecting and becoming part of a bigger thing, of a higher thing. Especially in the davening is not just the yearning for the Geula. We should already start gam ubeikar legesh hasimcha mizeh shegula ba b'payil mamish v'legez hamamish. So because we're already there, we could already start this type of avodah. The whole avodah has to become a more connected type of avodah, not like bottoms up, but like you're already there and become part of the reality which is already here. There is Mo'ira, the Indian of Chumisha Asur B'Shvat, to get ready for that. Every one of us is a Elon. So we should get ready for the Geula. And it should be taking me on Namish, coming into Eretz Yisrael. We read it in Az Yashir, we say, it's a song about Mashiach. And also, Amalek will only really get rid of it when Mashiach comes. So the Parshas is all alluding to the ultimate. And then Yisrael also, when will we get the real Torah? Like the Ishtafa in Torah. So the Torah, the whole Parshas are telling us now to get ready and become one with the Gula Amitas Vashlema, Shabo, Kvarba, take me on Namish.